Monday, August 12, 2019, to receive legal advice regarding this matter. Now we'll go to public comments.
All right, anybody else need to sign a sheet for public comment? All right, we're going to proceed forward. Rebecca Rhynhart, City Controller.
Good morning, Honorable Judge Furlong, Judge Campbell, and Commissioner Carter. In February, I began raising concerns regarding the procurement process for new voting machines. In April, my office launched an investigation into the process before the contract with ES&S had been signed. In July, my office shared preliminary findings from our ongoing investigation with the law department. In a few short weeks, our investigation will be complete. I am here today to respectfully ask that you wait to make a decision regarding the voting machine contract until our investigation is complete. And then we can present you with a full report on all of our findings. This will give you the opportunity to make a fully informed decision. Briefly, I will recap the findings as at issue today. ES&S's failure to disclose its use of consultants, its lobbying activities, and the consultants' campaign contributions. ES&S did not disclose that it used lobbyists and that those lobbyists engaged in lobbying activities in 2017 and 2018, including direct communication with City Commissioner Al Schmidt. It also failed to disclose its lobbyist campaign contributions. Among the recipients of their contributions were City Commissioners Al Schmidt and Lisa Phila, the very individuals who had the final say in who would be awarded the contract for the new voting machines. These disclosures are mandatory, regardless of whether it would disqualify a vendor outright. It is the failure to disclose that is the disqualifying act. And in the past, failure to disclose mandatory information has resulted in the vendors being disqualified. After we shared these initial findings with the law department, they agreed that the lack of disclosure made the contract voidable at the city's option. Today, as in my letter from earlier this week to you, I am asking you to consider this information carefully. But know that these findings are only a small part of what my team has been looking into as part of this investigation. That's why I respectfully request that you wait to decide on what action to take with the contract. It's likely that we'll be here in September in the same position. I'd like to make one final point. The focus from the city's procurement office has been on the work already done and how far we are into this process. While I appreciate this perspective, I think it misses the point. The willingness to throw out procurement goals for expediency's sake is discomforting, to say the least. But more importantly, the procurement process has an impact on a sacred civic duty, electing our country's leaders. The procurement of new voting machines is of utmost importance, not just because of the size of the contract, not because it's the first contract done by best value procurement by the city, but because of what the public will do with what's being procured, which is voting. Please wait to decide to move forward with the contract until our investigation is complete. Thank you for your time and your due diligence in this matter. Thank you.
Next speaker, James Marsh.
And I'll remind all speakers to please try to provide the reading comments.
So I'm James Marsh, Philadelphia resident, and I completely agree with the Controller Rhynhart's comments. In fact, Controller Rhynhart's recitation of various irregularities that have been uncovered is a continuation of the bad procurement process which has been pointed out for months to this body. The problem with the bad procurement process is that it results in a bad machine choice. Now we actually have the legality that is conceded is the latest incarnation of this bad process which leads to bad machines for the city of Philadelphia. This contract needs to be canceled. You cannot have a procurement process which starts out in a shoddy way, which does not include the citizens of Philadelphia contrary to best value requirements, and then goes into illegality at this point. That makes a complete sham of the whole process, but the substance is that it ends up with terrible choice of machine, which has been also pointed out for months. The idea that it was accidental that Triad and Duane and ES&S made these failures to disclose. All three of those entities were not able to properly make disclosures. That beggars belief. That is the tip of an iceberg, the textual. So given what is possibly further irregularities that we do not know yet, this contract needs to be canceled now. This whole process, as pointed out previously, is completely improper, and any disbursement of funds resulting from it would also be improper. I would also mention that the candidates, Phila and Schmidt, in 2018 were receiving contributions during the entire time that they were administering the selection of the machines. This made them candidates and made their later decision about the contract unauthorized, and that is per Pennsylvania election law, section 3241, which is acknowledged in the case of McMenamin v. Tartaglia in 1991, that was affirmed by the PA Supreme Court. That's good law, that's binding. They were candidates in 2018. This contract was not authorized because they were not authorized to undertake it. Again, because of the whole process, this contract needs to be canceled. Thank you much.
Next one is Vicki Miller.
Good morning, Your Honors, and Mr. Clark. I think it's worth restating.
Your name, please.
I'm sorry, Vicki Miller
Okay.
from At.Chair Giovanni Philadelphia. I think it bears restating a paragraph from the Controller's letter to you. And note that the precedent has already been set for this type of situation. And it's very important to uphold these precedents because of what they say about the city's procurement process. The paragraph reads, in the past, failures to meet mandatory disclosure requirements have resulted in the vendor's disqualification by the city of Philadelphia. Notably, this was the case last spring when the administration disqualified U.S. Facilities Inc., a minority-owned business, from bidding on a contract for failing to disclose political contributions less than $500. The Kenny administration at that time stated that the value of the contribution is not relevant and that the city had little discretion to overlook these kinds of violations. In an article from April 28th of this year, Mike Dunn, a spokesman for the Kenny administration, stated that the laws are well known for their strict mandatory requirements for disclosing political contributions and the resulting consequences for non-compliance. What precedent does it set if you ignore this? What precedent does it set if this body goes against this law? We must give the taxpayers of this city the confidence in the city's procurement processes and that there is not a pay-to-play policy. The laws are meant to prevent that type of action and prevent cynicism among the taxpayers and voters of the city. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioner Clark and your honors.
Your name, please.
My name is Muriel McCarthy. I'm a member of Protect Our Vote Philadelphia. I'm happy to let you know that my representative's chief of staff, Samantha Pearson, is here today because my representative could not attend on a 24-hour notice. I also know some other people who couldn't be here on short notice, unfortunately. The voting system you've chosen doesn't meet the directive given to Pennsylvania by the Department of State. That directive regarding the acquisition of a new system states in part, quote, to ensure that the next generation of the Commonwealth's voting system can conform to enhanced standards concerning resiliency, auditability, and security, end quote. This is a pretty crazy situation we're dealing with here, that the main reasons Pennsylvania has mandated to get new machines is so that we would have auditability and security, both of which include durable evidence of voter intent. Yet our city, this board, is trying to acquire a system that doesn't provide either auditability or security. Yes, it's correct that the voter gets to see the ballot after it's printed with barcodes and human-readable summaries. But there is a problem with the design of this voting system. It's called the opportunity to mark flaw. The flaw is simple. After the voter sees the printed ballot, sees the printed barcode that is what the machine actually counts, and also looks at the human-readable portion and ostensibly checks it for accuracy, the ballot goes back through the printing mechanism. Passing through the printer in this way can permit the barcodes on the ballot to be marked again. Only the machine's program knows what the barcodes mean. And again, it's the barcodes that are tallied, not the human-readable portion of the ballot. So any extra lines that can be added to the barcodes when it goes through the printer would permanently alter the ballot. What happens to ballots that are tampered with in this way? And there are many ways. And I'm going to provide you the documentation of that as part of my statement today. The ballots that have been tampered with get tallied with the other ballots. So the vote count out the gate is unreliable and therefore not secure per the Department of State mandate. What happens to tampered ballots during an audit? They are counted in a tampered state. If our ballots are ever tampered with because of this design flaw, the record of our votes will be permanently corrupted and we would never know. This makes audits useless, again, not meeting the Department of State's auditability mandate. The Department of State certified this system without knowing about this catastrophic design flaw. But you know about it. I testified on this issue on May 22nd. Yet, what do you think of this design flaw?
Ms. McCarthy, we're at 3.5 minutes. If you could summarize the rest of it.
Thank you, I will. Have you considered this design flaw?
If you could
I'll
summarize
continue.
the rest.
The consequences of this design flaw, at a minimum, are that voters will never be confident that the voting system will count and audit their votes correctly. And the city will likely face legal challenges by voters and by candidates who lose elections. Today I reminded you about this printer design flaw. If you continue to discount this flaw, I can only surmise that you don't value the right to vote. I'd like to be wrong, so I'll ask, as I did in previous meetings, please do the right thing and get a better system. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Scott McCarthy. Voting security experts have repeatedly expressed strong concerns over hybrid voting systems. The U.S. Senate Select Committee on Intelligence concluded that paper ballots and optical scanners are are the least vulnerable to cyber attack, recommending that, and I quote, at minimum, any machine purchase going forward should have a voter-verified paper trail. In response to concerns like these, the U.S. House has passed significant bills, and 2 others are in the U.S. Senate. Each would make the ExpressVote XL impractical or illegal to use in federal elections. The House passed the For the People Act of 2019, H.R. 1, on March 8th of this year. This bill would require every polling place to make hand-marked paper ballots available to all voters. Since the ExpressVote XL can't read hand-marked ballots, additional voting equipment would have to be purchased and used, making the ExpressVote XL machines redundant. The House also passed the Securing American Federal Elections Act, H.R. 2722, on June 27th of this year. This bill would ban the ExpressVote XL in federal elections and require paper ballots and risk-limiting audits. A similar bill, the Protecting American Votes in Elections Act, in the Senate, S. 1472, scraps outdated voting machines and, according to its sponsor, replaces them with reliable, secure, hand-marked paper ballots. The U.S. House and the U.S. Senate have each spoken very clearly that the ExpressVote XL machine is completely inadequate. As such, we ask that you void this contract. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next round.
Hi, gentlemen. Here. My name is Tim Brown. Before I begin, I'm going to be submitting my remarks to you in electronic form. There are a number of citations here you want to take a look at. I'll be brief. My name is Tim Brown. I'm from Philadelphia Neighborhood Networks. Before I did that for a living, I was a computer consultant. I traveled the country building out business solutions for global corporations and for all levels of our government. I understand that computers and tall technology tends to be a black box for a lot of people, but I think I can explain to you in layman's terms why it's important to nullify this skill. The first thing you need to understand is that the computers generated in these Excel machines, they don't actually produce a ballot. They create a list of names similar to a receipt you get at the supermarket. And the actual ballot is the one that the voter touches their finger on, that casts the ballot, which gets erased after a person gets a summary, and then they have the summary ballot, which now replaces the actual ballot. You all with me so far? Now, what happens is that the city commissioner's argument, well, not all the city commissioners, but 2 of the city commissioner's argument is that everyone will verify their ballot before they hit submit, and that this will make our vote secure. The problem with that argument is that it's simply not true. People are not verifying their votes. In December of 2018, the Georgia Institute of Technology released a quantitative analysis of ballot verification, which is a fancy way of saying they observed people using the machines, using these very same Excel machines. And what they found was that 47% of people didn't even bother to look at the summary part before they hit submit. The other 53% looked at it for a minimum of 4 seconds at a time. So, here's the crux of the problem. If half the voters aren't bothering to verify the receipt, that's an unacceptable potential for error. If you think this is all just hypothetical, here's a real-world example. The 2018 contest between Ted Cruz and Beto O'Rourke down in Texas, 8 million votes were cast, and it was decided by under 215,000 votes. That's a 3% margin of victory. So you can see 3%, 47%, you see the potential for a problem here. But here's where it gets real. In that race, the Texas Tribune confirmed the voters were reporting that when they voted the straight Democratic ticket, the machine was flipping the O'Rourke votes to Ted Cruz. And the election officials knew that this was a problem, but they couldn't do anything about it. They were stuck with these machines. Okay? And that's a real problem. Now, some voters caught the error. But this begs the question, how many of those 4 million Texas Democrats didn't bother to look at their ballots before they submitted it? You think it was more than 3%? And this is the danger that we face. Look, Pennsylvania is the linchpin Philadelphia is the linchpin for Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania decides the presidency. In 2016, our election was decided in Pennsylvania by less than 1%. Do we really want to put ourselves in danger with machines that we know are unverifiable? And from a company who's done some unscrupulous things, we hope that we will nullify this country. Thank you.
Thank you. 2 minutes. 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 2 minutes.
call.
Hi, my name is Carol Rosenthal. I'm a taxpayer. I live in Paramount. I'm also a Democratic committee person. I do not have all the legal statistics and facts and figures, which I'm sure you haven't heard for the first time just today. I know about this issue because I have followed it, and I have read it in the newspaper, and it stinks. You cannot live here, follow what's going on, and think that there is not something wrong with this process. Philadelphia is becoming a national embarrassment, and we have the ability to make that change by doing the right thing at this moment, voiding this contract, and taking the time and opportunity to seriously look not just at what is at stake, but at what is possible. Voting by paper ballots. I have only lived in the city for 7 years. Prior to that, I lived in a city where I voted with a hand-marked paper ballot. It was not Mayberry. It was the city of Chicago with a population twice this size. It is possible for large cities to have hand-marked paper ballots and to do this well and accurately. I have discovered, as a committee person, I have discovered that my polling location will no longer be allowed to be used because the machines apparently cannot be easily moved and removed from our polling location. Instead, they're being combined with the polling location a couple of blocks away. Potentially, this could be a reasonable solution. However, I spoke with the committee person this morning who works at that polling location, where there are already long lines at their polling location. And they blew a fuse during the last election because there's not electrical capacity. These are really important details that need to be considered, and I do not believe that they have been considered because I think that there was a rush to this decision. There are other cities in the state that have not rushed to this decision, that are fulfilling a mandate from the governor, and they are doing it appropriately and with the time to include accurate investigation and input from taxpayers and voters. I urge you to void this contract and to take the time that is necessary to fully investigate voting machines that we can have confidence in and that will give citizens of Philadelphia a chance to be enfranchised and know that our vote actually matters and that it counts. We have elected many of you to be sitting here where you are today, and I hope that you would give us the courtesy and respect that's due.
Thank you.
My name is At.Chair Giovanni, and I am here because I care about the situation with these voting machines. The lack of transparency in this process is appalling. I am an organizer with Tuesdays with Tumi, and I, every Tuesday, go to my senator's office and for the thrill of having him not listen to me. And now I stand here recognizing that our city council also has not listened to us. We have had rallies at Tumi's office and at city council meetings about not us. We have had rallies at Tuesdays with Tumi, and folks who have spoken at our rallies have also spoken out about the numerous problems with these voting machines, which we have already heard about. One thing I want to highlight is a story that was told to me from a woman who is visually impaired and also has arthritis. The device she was given to hold so that she could put her vote in was so heavy that by the time she had managed to work through it, this was during the demonstration, she had a hard time holding the device. How many people in Philadelphia have arthritis? How many people in Philadelphia are visually impaired? keeping up with the news and information that I have been able to acquire about this. But it is interesting and appalling to me to see the lack of transparency in this process, which has led to this hearing today. This is not the only incidence of a lack of transparency. This is simply the culmination of a process that has been damaged and problematic throughout. And as a Philadelphian and as someone who wants my voice to be heard, both in the ballot box and here in the city, I think that this is wrong and we need to move to hand-marked paper ballots, or at least move to a machine that can actually do the job we ask it to do. We're not in that much of a rush. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is John Cox. This whole thing has been disgusting. More reason why I think we should ban bribes to politicians. This whole thing has been disgusting. More reason why I think we should ban bribes to politicians. Corrupt bids, selecting machines that are extremely overpriced and unsecure. I also use the machines and saw how they will be hard for people to use. We need paper ballots now. We need a fair democracy for all now. No XL. Thank you.
Cindy Carey.
Good morning, my name is Cindy Carey. We've spoken before. I agree with all of the citizens that have spoken thus far. I will focus on the problems with the machine itself. I am a judge of election. I've been so for many years. I am not a cybersecurity expert. So, due diligence requires me to go seek that out. The cybersecurity experts, the computer scientists, and election security experts all agree that this machine should not be used in any election. Specifically, and I will read this for you, the state of Georgia has 25 esteemed professors of computer science from all over the country, some Ivy League schools, some that may as well be, all urging against the use of this machine. I don't understand how you have a fiduciary obligation to do your due diligence, and by not listening to the cybersecurity experts, you have abdicated that responsibility. You're not cybersecurity experts. Talk to the pros. I can look at that machine because I've been doing it for so long. There is a on-off button, hackable. Touchscreen, hackable. Printer, hackable. Scanner, hackable. This morning, I looked at the machine, and come to find out, when you open the on-off button, there's a thumb drive, hackable. This is not acceptable. Please, I beg you, confirm with the experts. Go to Temple, Drexel, Penn, they're everywhere. They will tell you, they will show you. We just want to have free and fair elections. No bribery, no BS. Finally, every time I call, and I called just this week to sign up for the training from the manufacturer, someone tells me that the machine is not hackable, which of course is false, and that there are voter verifiable ballots. Can you read this? No human being can read this. This is a barcode. This is not voter verifiable. That is a fact. Please, I beg you, do the right thing. Thank you.
My name is Kevin Skoglund, Citizens for Better Elections, a member of the Protect Our Vote Coalition. Since we last talked, we've told you a lot of the problems with this process of the machine. But since we last talked, we actually have petitioned for a re-examination of the machine under Pennsylvania state law, because we believe some of those flaws are actually deficiencies under the Pennsylvania election code. So what you have in front of you is that document. You can review it to see there's 10 different points that are in violation of the election code. I'm just going to call your attention to one of them on page 7, point number 7, unlawful assistance in voting. This is not something that we've talked about before, but one of the features of this machine is that if you decide, you make your selections and it prints out your paper, if you decide you don't like that paper, then a poll worker has to come into the booth to assist you. That's unlawful assistance in voting. It's a big deal. It comes up over and over again in the election code. It says no one can come into the booth. It's actually a misdemeanor for the poll worker who comes into the booth. It's a misdemeanor for the voter, and if I read it correctly, it's a misdemeanor for the poll worker to let it happen. So it's a very big deal. But the reason we're here today is because of this failure to disclose. Now, this is not just a minor technicality. ES&S is going to try and tell you it's just a little inadvertent mistake, it's just paperwork, but it's not. The reason that we have the disclosure laws is so that we can reveal conflicts of interest, and we can be aware of those or disqualify people from participating if they have conflicts. And that's what this goes to. This is conflicts of interest. During 2018, they were giving money to the commissioners who were already candidates, and they were whispering in their ear. And we already know that because we saw the RFP that they put out. During 2018, their lobbyists were saying, you know what, you guys need a full-face voting machine. It needs to be familiar to Philadelphia voters. It needs to take up the same footprint in the polling place. It needs to hold lots of candidates. All of those bias criteria that we saw going to that RFP are the fruit of that labor. So it's not just a simple technical violation. This is serious. This goes to the root of the process. This says why this thing stinks right from the beginning. So don't let them just get away with telling you that it's an inadvertent mistake. Now, you've been given a get-out-of-jail-free card, essentially, on this contract. And the controller has asked you to hold off on using that until our investigation is complete. This re-examination is also going to happen. It's compelled under the law, and the Department of State has said they will do it. There are shoes that are out there that haven't dropped yet. And if you're not going to void the contract today, then you should wait and see what those other shoes are. Because this opportunity won't come up again. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for letting me the time to speak. I'm here with my children today because this is obviously really important. I think it's really interesting that no one in this room is here to support this decision, to support this contract. I think you need to read this room and see that we are just a tiny fraction of the people of the city. We are paying attention, we are watching, and we are a national embarrassment right now. This is just simply unacceptable. The people of this city deserve to know that our votes are being counted. The controversy surrounding the choice of these machines and the dealings around why we're here today leads to voter apathy and disillusioned citizens. We are dealing with a national problem right now of citizens not believing that our politicians have our best interest in mind, and this is proof. We have to show people that their vote matters, and you can't sit there and tell people to go vote and then have all of this controversy surrounding the machines. Whether or not the vote is being counted, the controversy alone makes this, we have to come back and revisit this. We have to do this in a more transparent and a more visible way. The people of this city deserve that. We deserve secure machines. We deserve a paper trail. We deserve a receipt to show that our vote is being counted appropriately. So please void this contract. Please do the right thing. Thanks for your time.
Good morning, my name is Cynthia Schiff. Good morning, Your Honors, and good morning, Commissioner. Good morning. I too have been following this process of making a decision about voting machines. I'm a poll worker, and it's very important to me to have all the information that's up to date before I go into the process during the elections. Controller Rhynhart has stated the failure to disclose ES&S contributions, and this does make it look like the old pay-to-play system is still in place. But more important is ignoring the design flaws of this machine. Please note that Controller Rhynhart has told us her team has more information for you, and wait until you get that information. Voting is a critical central right and privilege of American citizens. During this historically vulnerable time in our country, where voter suppression is rampant throughout, please let Philadelphia be a leader in providing a new and secure voting process. Please wait to make a decision about these machines. Thank you.
Kessler.
Morning, Honorable Judges Furlong Campbell, Commissioner Clark. My name is Kessler. I'm here along with my partner, Bachman from the law firm Rhynhart. I was here this morning preparing to just say that we had submitted a letter to the board, which I hope the board has received dated August 13th, and we were prepared to rely on that letter, which we are, as our testimony here today. However, because of some of the things that have come out this morning, I think I have to set the record straight and briefly respond to some of these points. You heard a lot about this honest inadvertent mistake. It was one based on misunderstanding. No one, I believe, David said it was intentional because it wasn't intentional. It's one that he has severe and regrets, but it was an honest inadvertent mistake that anyone without legal training could have made. And in fact, it appears that the other finalists in this program made the same mistake. And what is that mistake, or how does it arise? It arises because of the disclosure requirement that ES&S and the other respondents have filled out. Ask them to certify, check a box, to certify the consultant was used. It advises them to please be sure to refer to the definition of consultant before completing a form. When you refer to the definition of consultant, Code Section 17-14016, it defines consultant as any person used by an applicant or contractor to assist in obtaining a non-competitively bid contract through direct or indirect communication by such person with any city agency. That's the operative language. So what is it? Number one, it envisions contact with city agencies and city officers, and it condones that. It's a basic constitutional right. Secondly, it uses the term non-competitively bid contract. Well, with all due respect, if you're not a lawyer or judge and you read that, you're liable to stop right at that point and say, wait, this is wholly competitive. There are a number of bidders, there are a number of respondents on this matter. It is a competitive procurement, therefore, there's no need to check that box. Well, if you don't check the box for the consultant, you're certainly not going to go to the next step of providing disclosures of political contributions, which is only necessary if you're using a consultant as is defined by the code. So that, yes, is a mistake that anybody could have made. As I said, it appears that it may have been made by the other finalists, but it also is a classic case of no harm, no foul.
respect, the same respect you get.
Thank you. Okay, so why did I say that? Because you have heard from none of the speakers, not one, that the identity consultants, its costs, and their political contributions were filed with the city ethics board, available to the city, available to the public, available to anyone who's going on the city's website. So the fact that there were these secretive contributions that weren't disclosed, that is a red herring that deserves it. Now, should it have been disclosed in the context of the procurement? Yes. But was somebody trying to get away with something? In fact, that was the way the controller tells us she discovered that those contributions were made. She says in her letter of August 13th, quote, this information was obtained by reviewing lobby registrations filed quarterly with the City Board of Ethics. So the reality is, nobody's trying to get away with something. They're on file with the city. They're easily discoverable, and that's why we're here today on this issue, because they were discovered.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kessler. We're almost at 5 minutes.
Well, let me wrap up if I may. Because I appear to be the only one presenting this.
Hold on a second, hold on. Voters, we have respect for you so long as you show some respect for the process. Okay? We have sheriffs. Let's wrap up, Mr. Kessler.
Yeah, 2 big points. Number one, the focus on certain contributions to the city commissioners. It was a non-disclosure of all contributions made to all elected officials, all city elected officials, and state elected officials, not just to these individuals. Secondly, those contributions were made in February 2018. The RFP didn't come out until 9 months later in November 2018. During that entire procurement period, there were no contributions. Finally, I just want to say that ES&S has been working diligently with the city to ensure implementation of this voting system. They've delivered more than 3,200 voting machines to the city. They trained city personnel. There have been public demonstrations throughout the city, and by all account, city officials are pleased.
Mr. Kessler, we have to end.
Thank you very much for the indulgence.
Yes. All right. Any other public comments? On Monday, August 12th, we received a letter from the city solicitor, which includes communication from the city's procurement department regarding the electronic voting system. Those letters have been made public by posting on our website. As the solicitor explains, the city is determined that our voting system vendor, ES&S, as well as the other finalists, Dominion Voting, failed to disclose their consultants and their consultants' political contributions in violation of Chapter 17-1400 of the Philadelphia Code. The solicitor has determined that under the Philadelphia Code, this means that the contract with ES&S is voidable. Since the election code provides that the Board of Elections is responsible for the ultimate determination of what systems can be used for elections in Philadelphia, the final decision on whether to void the contract or to maintain it rests with the board. Neither I nor Judge Furlong were involved in the procurement department's selection process, nor were we involved in the determination by the Board of Elections on February 20th, 2019, that the ES&S system was appropriate. But we have been serving on the Board of Elections since that time and have been apprised that ES&S's work with the Board of Elections on implementing the new voting systems for the City of Philadelphia has been satisfactory. They have delivered equipment on tight deadlines, and on Saturday we're expected to receive the last shipment of voting equipment. At that time, all 3,750 ExpressVote XLs will be in Philadelphia. I understand from the Board of Elections staff that ES&S staff has been on site to assist us in handling this project. In addition, our internal network for receiving election night results from around the city in a quick and accurate manner is installed and ready for a test run next week. ES&S has also been engaged with our electronic poll book vendor to ensure smooth interaction between the two parties. Furthermore, as of today, our staff has conducted over 200 demonstrations of the new voting system and over 2,500 poll workers have undergone training. Reports from voters and poll workers have been overwhelmingly positive. In our letter, the Procurement Commissioner details the time, effort, and expenditures the city has incurred to date in implementing the ES&S system. Those are relevant considerations, but my focus on chair of the Board of Elections is on ensuring that Philadelphians are able to exercise their right to vote. The successful implementation of a new voting system with a voter verifiable paper ballot, as required by Governor Campbell, is of utmost importance at this time. In my opinion, the continued implementation of ES&S's voting system and the use of the ES&S system for elections in Philadelphia is the right decision for Philadelphia. I do not believe that this process should be overturned or restated because of the issues that are presented today. ES&S has agreed to a significant penalty of 10% of the value of the contract as negotiated by the law department, or about $2.9 million to be paid by the
Bullshit, man! They're not accessible, particularly to people who are blind. When changes were made since I tried them out, no.
Investigations over. That's a smart, sensible.
Shame on you! 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 Shame on you!
The sheriff is directed to remove everyone who continues to be disruptive at this meeting. Everyone who speaks. I heard what you said.
How much did they pay you?
I do not believe that this process should be overturned or restarted because of the issues that have been placed before the Board of Elections today. ES&S has agreed to a significant penalty of 10% of the value of the contract as negotiated by the law department, or about $2.9 million to be paid by ES&S to the city. I've also received a letter from the city controller regarding the controller office's ongoing investigation of the city's procurement processes. I've considered the information in that letter, and have also considered all the remarks that have been presented to the board this morning. I also believe that we should resolve this issue in an expeditious fashion in order to provide clarity to the voters of Philadelphia on what equipment we'll be using in November. Therefore, I make a motion with regards to the letter from the City Solicitor Marcel Pratt, dated August 12, 2019, and pursuant to 17-1402 of the Philadelphia Code, that the City of Philadelphia maintain contract number 196400 with the Election Systems and Software LLC, that the implementation of the ES&S voting system for elections in Philadelphia should continue, and that ES&S voting system be used for elections in Philadelphia. Now I'll take a moment to consult with the board.
Still the most corrupt city in there. Oh, thank God.
Go. We taking them out or what?
I challenge you to watch me try and use it.
Oh, come on. Step out.
It's a free vote.
Okay, we're going to take the vote.
Listen, the judge already said, next person that talks is to be removed.
All right, we're going to take a vote. Commissioner Wood.
Vote your conscience! Vote your conscience! Vote your conscience!
Please remove her.
All right, man, you gotta go. Come on. Come on. Come out. Come on, John.
Scaredy cat!
All right, hopefully.
Vote your conscience! Vote your conscience! Vote your conscience! Our vote can be heard!
Commissioner Williams. Say again.
Vote your conscience! Vote your conscience! Vote your conscience!
He's like that.
I vote yea to approve
ES&S violated Chapter 17-14 of the Philadelphia Code by failing to make mandatory disclosures in the application process. Therefore, the city has the option to void the contract or maintain it. Number 2, the position of the Philadelphia Procurement Commissioner, as stated in the Commissioner's August 9, 2019 letter to the Board of Elections, is well stated, well reasoned, and credible. My vote is to maintain the contract.
Agreed. So the motion passes. This meeting is adjourned.
Better learn how to have shades, right? Make sure you don't get elected.